of course, constantly reminding people, but if they don't follow the norms, tougher penalties. Even as we speak today, we've got shots today as well of people violating COVID norms, roaming around everywhere. Testing is still not up to the mark as it should be in a state like ours, and neither are the restrictions that are on paper. So, what is your view on this? Could we have done better stuff and faster?
I think regulation is the key. I mean, I'm not talking in terms of lockdown or things like that because we've had very bad experience with lockdowns. I think what we need is better regulation generally in terms of educating people, and that can only come about if we have a robust primary healthcare system. I think that is the thing. What we are doing right now is pure firefighting. We take actions based on what is happening at the ground level and we react to that. This is happening across the country, whether it's the national government or various state governments. Only there are some state governments like Maharashtra probably do better firefighting in terms of managing the crisis that we see. But there's no effort at kind of improving the public health infrastructure, in regulating the private sector. I think these are things which need to be put in order if we want the healthcare system and we want people to respond to. You need better awareness raising also. I mean, we know masks are important, sanitization is important, etc. And but you allow congregations to happen. You allow the Holi festival to happen. You allow the Mahakumbh to happen, and many other congregations that are happening, and that is shows the absence of governance in terms of regulating the situation.
Yes, and you know, while we are actually even seeing political rallies take place in many other parts of the country.
Yeah, political rallies.
For some reason, right now the big challenge is in Maharashtra. Who knows where it will be tomorrow? Whether we're even looking at the numbers in Tamil Nadu or West Bengal. But because we know where the problem is, and we stepped up on the testing here, I am asking this question, Mr. Sachin Ahir. Last time, when the situation was 1/10 of this, the Chief Minister would come out frequently. Every week, he would speak to the people, he would address the media, he would give us a sense of what is being done. Where is he now? Why is the government, why is nobody from the top ministers talking to us?
I'll not go into the debate who has done what. Like rightly as you put, I think the whole India and especially all channels and all the viewers are also knowing the Chief Minister of the state is so efficiently available through media and interacting with the people, and also the health minister have been interacting continuously. Last year, we had a very big issue where we were not prepared. But this year, yes, we are all awaiting these kinds of situations, if it comes, how we are going to curb it. Let me put you very honestly, these kinds of things which has been created, it's not like this, it's naturally be created, but we have gone for a self-introspective also. And likely, like the testing also, we are trying to insist the people that there should be more testing. For my knowledge, the testings were 30,000, 40,000. Now we are doing 50,000 tests. And that's how the numbers are increasing and where we are coming, and which is good also. And if you see, surprisingly, the figures, 95% people who are getting positive are from middle class and upper middle class. And 5% are from the slums. So this is a very big achievement from last year, what we could achieve. For your knowledge, we went to 1 crore and 30 lakhs people door to door with like my family, my responsibility, which the CM's one of the slogan he had given to the people, and the corporation and all the respected corporations went door to door. I'm just talking of Mumbai, but overall state, the figures were around about 7 to 8 crore of people we have reached. So that was a very big thing where we could go to the people, create an awareness, and simultaneously try to restrict them. And that's how you can see it now in the figures, that 5% people are from the slum area. Yes, rightly you said, it is a very worrying situation. We need to face
actually,
it.
Mr. Sachin, while yes, I will say that you did a decent job. Mr. Sachin Ahir, I don't think you should pat yourself on the back that it's only 5% cases in the slum areas right now. We have to keep in mind the fact that a large percentage of them already tested positive or got the antibodies. Your own sero surveys will show 30%, 40% sero prevalence.
From that.
Yes.
Yeah, but they have overcome from that. That's what I'm trying to say. So these figures now, which is so at least that area we could successfully go ahead on this.
Mumbai has reported 8,000 cases today, 8,500 cases today, sir. What are you talking about? 8,500 cases, even if it is in the high rises, what are we doing about it?
The WHO or the other agencies have also appreciated the work done with from behalf of the government of Maharashtra. We are not denying the fact that the situation is getting worse, but we are confident that we can overcome this. So it's a time phase. We need to give more awareness to the people. More vaccination has to come, and that's why we have a target of vaccinating around about 1 lakh people a day. So that will help for these kinds of things not to happen.
Let me then bring in our other panelists as well. And Devyani Kankoje, here is the Shiv Sena representative saying we've done a great job. That's how we managed to control it the first time around. We will introspect and do so again.
Yeah, we are confident.
Yeah. To say that...
Tanvi, can I say something?
Devyani, please, of BJP. Yes.
Yeah. To say that the Shiv Sena and the government has done the great job is the most ridiculous statement that anybody can make at this point in time. The situation is so bad in Maharashtra. Amongst the 10 states
we have done a very good
country, 8 belongs to Maharashtra. No, just a minute, let me complete.
Well.
Today the hospitals are full. There are no beds available. If you go to marketplace, they are crowded like anything. There is no authority which is controlling the crowd in the marketplaces, especially in the vegetable market or in the malls or in any other place. To say that we have done a great job, it's the most pathetic things to say at this point in time.
That's how we are trying to
And we have an example where the honorable, let me complete. With due respect, don't overspeak.
Okay, please complete. Please come. Please come.
We have a situation today where the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, his own family is unfortunately corona positive. So where are we now? Who is taking care of whom? You see the crowd at the marketplaces.
You need to mix the family
it's
with
bad.
the...
And another 15 days time, the situation is going to explode like anything, and I really don't know how and which way it is going to go.
Okay. 1 minute. And before I go to Mr. Duggal,
I don't think so that survey is right.
Devyani, 1 minute. Let Sachin Ahir respond to this. Sachin Ahir, if you are saying you've been doing a good job, how are we at 8,600 for the city of Mumbai and on top of the list for the entire nation? 8 out of 10 districts versus districts in Maharashtra. How is that happening?
Tanvi, now you tell me what you expect from the government. Like we are behaving like a double sword. In Mumbai, I have a figures. We by putting because of no mask, we have fined 24 lakh people. No city ka chief or no the chief ministers wants that there should be a lockdown. But why this situation is coming? Timely chief minister have come in front of the people and tried to make them aware. It's now becoming your responsibility also. First, it was our responsibility as a government. Now it's becoming your responsibility. And people have responded to it. I'm not denying people have not responded. So where there is a situation, we need to go timely to the firefighting there. And that's how we have been doing it.
Mr. Sachin Ahir, if we were firefighting this, we would have stepped up firstly massively on implementation of the rules. No, you thought that you issue notices to 5 restaurants and you allow everybody else to continue partying for 2 straight months without penalizing them, without cracking down on the... Allow me to please finish my point. You asked me what is it that you could have done. Now I am telling you what it is that you could have done. You could have penalized the violators more than just saying 23 lakh fine for not wearing masks. Please look at the status of some of the markets and the crowding. Instead of every single time that the cases go up, instead of increasing public transport, you reduce public transport. You say fewer trains and fewer buses. How is that going to help? You say night restrictions as if corona is not there during the daytime.
No,
how is night restriction going to help when people are roaming around in crowded markets in the daytime? Have you insisted that offices have staggered timings? Offices do multiple shifts. These are things you're still considering. Are you not considering multiple shifts for offices right now? Why haven't we implemented that? Why haven't we brought in more public transport? Allow me to finish, please, because you asked me this question, what more you could have done? You could have stepped up on the testing in the second week of February. You could have stepped up on the surveillance at that point of time. You could have started building your healthcare infrastructure then. We are getting calls all the way from Pune and Nasik with people telling us they're struggling to find beds. Experts from Pune have been on our shows just last 2 days saying the last set of beds and ventilators are now available in Pune. What happened to the healthcare infrastructure if you're looking at 10,000 cases every day? Now, who's supposed to do that? You had 1 year to do this.
Yeah. So now let me repeat. Let me reply you. So what you're saying, it's not like this that we have been sitting idle. We have been doing everything. Rightly, as you said, that India, Maharashtra is the only state we are doing a lot of testing per day. So it is not like this that we were not doing that. In fact, a lot of people were saying, the other figures, why these figures are coming? Because the testing is going on, one. Secondly, when it comes to, we have a robust system, medical system. Now, looking into that COVID center, which we thought, yes, last year it is decreasing. So we have not closed any COVID center. We reactivate, and now itself in Mumbai, there are 7,000 beds which will be activated in a day or two time. So it's not like this, it's not happened. There is some efforts with them. Now what you said, why we are crubbing and after 7 ke baad koi COVID nahi hai kya? Rightly, as you said, we want that people who are serious, who are going for work, simultaneously the economic should also sustain, the industry should also sustain. And same time, people who are unnecessary going out, socializing, going here and meeting these families or everything, that has to be restricted. And that's how we crubbed it to 7 o'clock.
Okay, let me bring in our other panelists as well. Mr. Duggal wanted to make a point. Yes.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't want to become part of this political blame game which is happening. I think that's part of the problem why we're not able to tackle the situation. I would like to focus on testing. And there's a very interesting pattern. If you look at the daily reports which are issued by the Maharashtra Medical Education Department, there's a very clear pattern of as testing increases, positivity rate increases. But you have to continue the pace of testing so that the positivity rate ultimately, the larger population you cover, you will bring down the positivity rate. I mean, if you look at, as you stop, when things improve a little, you reduce the testing. That is not, if you look at this graph, which is from that report, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a very clear direct relationship between positivity rate and the testing rate. So you can't reach a peak and then reduce testing. You have to continuously do it. The point two is it's good, the vaccination is happening, etc. But we need to scale it up substantially. Otherwise, we're running into the same kind of issue. Vaccination has to become universal. You can't say, okay, to begin with, maybe some targeting was necessary, but you can't keep continuing a targeted approach. You have to universalize it. You have to keep it open. You have to open it up to everybody. Because if I'm 60 years, I'm vaccinated. My wife is 45 years, she can't be vaccinated until April comes. Okay, so this kind of thing, I think is also problematic because some people in the house are protected, others are not. And that I think creates problems. I don't know, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm sure there are certain consequences of that because even when you're vaccinated, you're carrying the virus load in you. And if others are unprotected, probably they can get exposed to it because we know people even after vaccination have got infected. And this is precisely because you're not increasing the pace of
In fact, because Mr. Duggal, you made a very valid point about testing. In fact, aggressive testing should have started over 2 months ago. If 90% of Mumbai's COVID cases in January and February,
September also.
Yes, and even in January and February, when you knew that a larger percentage of your cases, 90% were coming in from high rises, why didn't we start aggressive testing at that point? Why didn't we then start, going and doing, higher random testing to see in those zones where cases were being reported. We didn't do that. We had completely given up on the surveillance and the contact tracing part. And now we are looking at a situation where obviously if 8,000 cases are coming every day, it's going to become a difficult challenge. 8,000 cases every day is the highest ever. When Maharashtra peaked last time, Dr. Mangesh Pathak, when Maharashtra was peaking the last time in September, we had touched about 3,000 cases on a daily basis. And now we are at 8,000.
Tanvi, I will just like to mention 2-3 points over here. I agree with Duggalji completely. Point number 1, let me put it over here very bluntly, that see, pandemic management is not a political issue. Remember, political subject. It has to be a professional. Healthcare professionals, public health experts, administrative professionals. These are the people who are supposed to manage the pandemic. Now, what should be done in administration, how it should be done, whether lockdown should be done or not done, these should be the professional decisions and not the political ones. Point number 1. Point number 2, we discussed a lot about the testing, how numbers are increased about the testing and everything. You know what is the ground reality? Ground reality is that there are more than 50 to 60% of people, they are not going only for testing. People are scared, they are avoiding the testing. First thing. Second thing, one very important point we have forgotten in this discussion, this second wave, we have forgotten the word contact tracing completely. If one patient comes positive, you tell me how many percent of those contacts are being traced by the administration. I am sorry to say that there is no vigilance backup to have this data, today's date. And that's why whenever people are coming positive, their contacts, their households, they are roaming around freely in the markets, on the streets, and they are the carriers of the infections. The second wave, when it started, if you see very carefully, when one person in the family comes positive, within 24 to 48 hours, the rest whole family is coming positive. That much is the infectivity rate, whatever may be the new strain which has come, whatever may be the reason behind that. But taking something from this, we have to augment the contact tracing to 100% level. I understand it fully, how much human resources and manpower it is going to need, but we do not have any option to get away from the contact tracing. If you do proper contact tracing, compel people for the testing, you may speak, we have done so many tests, we have increased the numbers. That does not give us a solution. Remember that. Solution is that contact tracing has to be increased vehemently. Now, third point which was discussed was about the vaccination. We have got very limited number of vaccination centers. Agreed, we cannot have huge number of vaccination centers, but we definitely can increase the number of centers to some extent. Number 2, why government cannot increase the human resources in those particular vaccination centers which are existing and open the vaccination centers 24/7? It will avoid the crowding. The objective is that whatever resources are available with us to save the mankind, we should utilize them in a fast way. Maximum population should be vaccinated.
Yes.
Well, as so rightly said, even after second dose of vaccination, people are coming positive, catching up the disease and getting admitted. It's true. But the science behind that is, after any vaccination, you need at least 1 to 3 months of a gap for developing immune response in your own body. So that window period is always there where you are capable of holding the disease. Even second thing, it depends on your body. Everyone does not develop the same immune response after vaccination. So even after vaccination, people have to take all these COVID
until we break the chain completely. Even those who've been vaccinated will need to follow the precautions. But may I just go across to Mahesh Tapase? Mahesh, we are talking about the rules that should have been brought in, the steps that should have been taken versus what was taken. For example, in Nasik, the local authorities there decided that they are going to put a 5 rupee fee to enter the market. Now, is that really going to be a deterrent? Didn't we waste a lot of our precious time and effort into coming up with this, implementing this policy to take 5 rupees? Who's going to stop from going to market because they have to pay 5 rupees?
I first would want to share some information with Mr. Mangesh. Mr. Mangesh ji, he said that the contact tracing is not up to mark as far as Mumbai is concerned. I have some figures, and these figures are of 31st March 21. In past 24 hours, that means between 30th and 31st March, the contact tracing figure was 39,508. So in 24 hours, 40,000 people were contacted, and out of which 27,000 were at high risk. So cumulative, if you see the population of Mumbai, the cumulative contact tracing on 31st March was 53,10,581. So that shows that the BMC is doing whatever best it is in its capacity as far as contact tracing is concerned, as far as making arrangement for the patients is concerned. Now it is our responsibility as responsible citizens to come forward and get COVID test done. There is another information which I wanted to share, that at the start of the program, whether the health infrastructure has been pulled down or dismantled, that was a debate, that was a topic of discussion. Let me assure you and the viewers of your channel in Maharashtra that no health infrastructure has been dismantled. In fact, Maharashtra is doing the highest number of tests given by as per the guidelines of the ICMR, which says RT-PCR is 70% and antigen is 30%. So this is where 70% of the tests being done are as per the RT-PCR, and that is one of the reasons why I'm not talking about other states. I don't have the data, but I can assure you with full confidence that no data of Maharashtra government is faked or it's
that I completely agree with you. I am not doubting your numbers, unlike some cases where we do, other states where we may have questions about the numbers, but it's not about comparison. It's about the size of the state itself, Mahesh, about the density in this state. And as per that, your testing rate is far lower than many other states. So in absolute terms, it may look great that we are doing, 50,000, 1 lakh tests every day, including 70% RT-PCR. But we are obviously not able to catch up. And were we doing these until 2 weeks ago?
We have been doing these kind of tests from a very, very long time. We have not lowered our guard. We have not shut down the labs that were extended from 4 labs in Maharashtra to 500 odd labs in Maharashtra operational now. Let me also tell you that 6 states contribute 80% of the total COVID positive people in this country. That includes Maharashtra, Punjab, Karnataka, MP, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. So what Devyani was saying, that as if COVID is manufactured and Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi coming into the state of Maharashtra and then suddenly COVID has. So that's not the case. Let us not digress the issue, the core issue, that people need medical attention. People do not need any kind of political blame game. So I agree with Duggalji when he said he doesn't want to get into the blame game and the political debate part of it. But yes, we as citizens have to be responsible. I do not know what's come in Nasik and what that 5 rupees thing that you just mentioned. I have no idea on as far as that. But I can tell you with firm commitment that Maharashtra government, the MBA government across Mumbai, Pune and other parts of Mufassil Maharashtra has totally enabled themselves to face any eventuality. Now we request the people to come forward, do the testing, stay at home. If it's not important, don't go. Deterrent, lockdown may be a deterrent, it may happen, it may not happen, but there are other multiple parameters. The economy is a issue, the migrant workers which have come back to Maharashtra, that is another issue. People working in different locations, that is another issue. Traveling and commuting in is an issue. So what is essential and what is not essential, it's again very tricky question for the government to decide. Cooking gas is essential, so vegetables are essential. If cooking gas is essential, so are vegetables essential. So vegetables are essential, that means transportation is also essential.
No,
so
I agree with you, and in fact, exactly why we are having this debate, and you've come on our debates earlier as well, because we don't want to go into a lockdown situation. So, and the government shouldn't even wait for a situation where you say, oh, now we have to start shutting down things. Even if you shut down restaurants, even if you shut down malls, all of that is also going to lead to business loss of livelihood for several people, and the cases will continue to rise as they are. But look at the healthcare infrastructure part, Mahesh. In Nagpur, of the total 4,682 beds, only 7% are now available of the total beds. Only 7% available. Nagpur, we've removed the restrictions, but the cases are touching all-time high even now as we speak. In Pune, as of 31st March, of the 429 ventilator beds, only 11 are available. Only 11 ventilator beds available in Pune. Similarly, for isolation beds, it's a problem. And so I'm asking, this is why I'm asking this question. All right, if you didn't dismantle it, but were we prepared? Did we prepare for a situation where 10,000 cases get detected every day?
See, the entire medical machinery knows that epidemics comes in waves. There is a first wave which will go to its peak and again it will go down. And there is again a second wave, and across the globe, all the medical practitioners, they know that the second wave will always hit the hardest. And that is exactly people. So now this time more people are asymptomatic. In the previous way, people were symptomatic. They had cough, they had fever, they had sore eyes or whatever, and that's how they were knowing that there's something wrong. But this time more people are asymptomatic. So that is one reason why we are not able to ascertain who's a COVID positive and who's not a COVID positive. Even within your own family and fraternity, it's very difficult to identify unless that person has done a RT-PCR test or something.
Well, I also want our viewers who are tuning in right now to know. Yes, Mr. Duggal, just allow me a couple of minutes. I will come to you. This time, one trend that was shown that we know is that more number of cases are testing positive in the high rises currently, in the apartments currently, than the other side. We also know that more number of youngsters, and obviously so, because youngsters are now stepping out to go to school, to go to colleges, to go to work. The large percentage of your working population in the age of 20 to 45 that is stepping out to go to work, those are the ones who are also testing positive. And so it's gone beyond what our concerns were in the first time around. And I want to then now have a conversation about stepping up on vaccination. But Mr. Duggal wanted to make a point first. Go ahead, please.
Yeah,
I like to say
I think vaccination should not be seen as a final solution, because yes, it will reduce the severity of the cases, etc. That is fine. It may prevent deaths also. But I think ultimately the disease is going to become endemic, and I think that's what we need to keep in mind. For example, today, TB may not be affecting the entire population, but more than half the population has latent TB because they're carrying the bacillus. Similarly, H1N1, if you look at it came, but every year you get new cases. So it's become endemic. And this is going to happen with this also. When we talked about the Spanish flu also earlier, that also was there for 7-8 years. So it's not something this will go away completely. So we cannot kind of say that vaccine is the final solution. I think we must keep that in mind. This is a caution that we need to do. We know that this particular virus has a certain severity, and that you need to keep taking the precautions that are necessary.
Yes, so this is not our only solution. This is part of our larger solution, but it is definitely a very strong tool we need to cut through the chain of infection. Yes, Mr. Sachin Ahir, yes.
Yeah, public health system needs to be strengthened. And just rubbing on what you had said, the vaccination also, the Honorable Chief Minister was kind enough to raise this issue to the PM, and PM was also kind enough to grant that after 45 age also we need a vaccination. And that's how this speed from 1st April it is started. And we have an intention of 1 lakh people vaccinating this. What you said is rightly there. We first allowed, it was only being done by the government machinery. I'll be happy to say only in Maharashtra, around about 50 to 60,000 vaccination is done by government authorities. There was a lack of in the private hospitals, but now we urge to the private hospitals, because only 4,000 on an average the hospitals were doing. So now if that, again what Mr. Mangesh said, in 2 sessions we are starting that vaccination, and I'm hopeful with this vaccination, this time phase or this wave, what we are expecting in this 10-15 days or past 10-20-30 days, I think we can overcome all this. And when you're saying scrubbing of this also, when it comes to the society, when it's come to the slums also, Maharashtra government and its machinery have gone to the depth, have traced the contact, and we are very hopeful these things have situations arise. We are hopeful we can overcome this. And rightly, as you said, medical system or medical people, there are a lot of people who are not jumping into the government hospital. They're first trying the priority of the private hospital and then coming. But we assured that no one will be left without any treatment.
Okay, let me bring in some of our viewers. Rakesh Kumar is calling us from Pune. Good evening, Rakesh. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. I just have one simple question. They have both the NCP spokesperson and the Shiv Sena spokesperson. I have only one question. You have collected 23 lakh odd fines. You can use this money for a lot of good activities in Maharashtra. What do they say? They have
So
ample of money
23
right now.
lakh people, I'm just trying to point it out that 23 lakh people we have fined and we have a money of 43 crore only in Mumbai. So I'm trying to make a point that earning money is not a criteria. That money is obviously going to the taxpayer. But question is that when you say of curbing, what expectations you have more from the government of Maharashtra to do and go at this? And timely, the Honorable Chief Minister have come, warned the people, please be. Now I think it's rather putting the blame game on anybody else. It's like we need to show the COVID appropriate behavior, proper behavior.
So what is the solution now, Mr. Sachin Ahir? What is the
So
plan of
solution,
action now, or are we
see,
waiting for a situation where we then start locking down?
Like in Mumbai, there are 8 jumbo hospitals. I'm not seeing jumbo centers, which is equipped with all the robust medical system. One, we are coming up with 7,000 beds, which is, when I'm speaking now, I think more than 3,000 beds have been activated, literally activated. Same situation is there overall in Maharashtra. We have grade up, we have started doing this all situation and scrubbing up all the situation, and beds are being made available. All the COVID centers which was slightly kept suspended, I'm not saying it was closed, have been ordered to restart it and assured that there will be no such situation where people are lacking of any treatment.
Okay, let me
And
go across to
vaccination drive is
Yogesh.
also going on. And that's how we urge the central government also that they should allow us
Yeah.
to do a door-to-door vaccination also.
Okay.
Which unfortunately we didn't got the permission.
No, but
if that situation also
you were
comes,
seeking for door-to-door vaccination for the senior citizens. But Sachin Ahir, you were seeking door-to-door vaccination for senior citizens, or are you saying allow us to go set up camps
Now,
and vaccinate
I'm
more
saying
and
not
more
only
people
senior
in their
citizens.
societies?
I am not saying more on senior citizens. Now we are urging that they should allow randomly, and the corporation itself in Mumbai and Maharashtra, we are ready to take it as a challenge.
So has the state government asked the center for this permission?
I'm saying on my behalf of a spokesperson. I think government has to decide, but government has already given an requested to the central government, which was unfortunately been turned back.
Well, because in the last briefing from the central government, which was 2 days ago, Mr. Sachin Ahir, their response was that we've not got any request for door-to-door vaccination from Maharashtra.
So I guess we can again go give them the application and they should allow us. We are ready to take that challenge.
Why should we not? Yes, absolutely. Why should more and more states are currently asking the central government to do that? But let's keep this in mind. Let's keep this in mind. And Sachin Ahir, you and Mahesh Nepase will know.
And
yes,
around about 8 crore people we went physically and hats to the COVID workers and the workers who have been working in the field. They could do it, achieve it.
Okay.
And the same situation if arise, we'll do it.
So the state says we are ready, but the permission has to come from the center. Yogesh is calling us on the phone line from Mumbai. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. I just wanted to tell you people that I had an appointment for a vaccination today. I took the appointment on the CoWIN app. It was at Apollo Hospital. I reached there at 11:30 in the morning, and I was told that there were no more vaccinations left, and that they were only supplied 200 vaccinations, and that was over at 11:30. I had an appointment. I was supposed to reach before 5 o'clock in the evening. I reached at 11:30, but I could not get vaccinated today.
Yogesh, we do know. I will take it across to our panelists in just a bit, but thank you for calling. But we do know a lot of people have faced problems today, considering that today was day one when they opened it up to everybody above the age of 45. And in a lot of places, they were not ready.
I think it is technically and ethically fault also of the Apollo Hospital. They should have not permitted, like given them the appointment. But if you would have gone to any government hospitals or any other COVID centers, vaccination center, I think by walk-in also they are trying to register now.
No, but it's also via the CoWIN app. So Apollo has no control over it. It's the centralized app that gives it. But if there aren't enough vaccines being put into the system, hopefully, Yogesh, you may want to wait out a couple of more days till the new system settles down, and then you should be able to get a vaccine. For walk-ins, the government has also clarified that if you are a walk-in who's not taken an appointment on CoWIN, it's better if you go post 3 p.m. When the walk-ins will actually be vaccinated. So you will not end up waiting there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. Yes, Sachin.
The second shift also.
Yes, absolutely.
We are starting the second shift also.
So let me take this point across. Let me take this point across about door-to-door surveillance. Is enough happening on that front? Mahesh Tapase, even now in many of the societies where cases are coming, are we actually going and testing? I know you gave me a figure to say 40,000 being, contact traced every day, but we're also reporting 40,000 cases every day.
Mahesh, I guess we are urging to the people to go, but randomly we are not.
Mahesh, I think you're on mute. We couldn't hear you.
I can assure you, Tanvi, that contact tracing and our dedicated ASHA workers, whichever corporation, whether it's the BMC or the PMC or the Nagpur, irrespective of which party is controlling that municipal corporation, all workers, all medical staff within that municipal corporation is doing best that it can do by going door to door, making people aware, doing the test, telling people to stay away from the crowd. I'm having some figures here about the vaccination, which I wanted to share with Duggalji. As of 31st March, we have done 62,45,860 vaccination for healthcare, frontline workers, and age-specific categories. So from today onwards,
Mumbai itself, it is 15 to 16 lakhs.
Correct. This is Maharashtra, Sachin.
Rightly.
Figure altogether. So we are doing whatever, and nobody wants to see people dying. We are a very sensitive government, Tanvi. Let me tell you this. We are a very sensitive government, and we are headed by a person who is even more sensitive as far as calamities and pandemics are concerned. So we do not want to see any situation where people are left helpless. First wave, yes, we were not prepared. I think none in the world were prepared. We see the Western countries are so advanced. Look at what's happening in London. Look at what's happening in some of the counties in the US. Look at what's happening in the whole of Europe. They are still in an extremely high lockdown mode. We can't afford to go. We are a poor country. I mean, we have majority of the people have to earn their livelihood on daily basis. So lockdown is the only deterrent. It may not be the solution, but again, lockdown creates more problems. So that is also one thing.
No, but today you are telling me this, correct, and you are right. It does create more problem, Mahesh. Today, you are saying this today. We have had the Mumbai mayor come out and say that it is likely that from tomorrow, she said from tomorrow, I don't know, the order's not come in yet, from tomorrow malls and theatres will be shut down, markets will only open on alternate, and the trains will only be available for essential staff. So isn't that then partial lockdown any which ways that we are looking at?
We have also seen that Nagpur, the lockdown was announced and it was removed. We have seen in Aurangabad, lockdown was announced and it has been relaxed again. So we do not know. I mean, lockdown is a decision which the high people, the CM and the cabinet takes on day-to-day or case-to-case basis.
Nobody wants lockdown. Nobody wants lockdown.
Any
progressive state will not win. And you will see the chief minister also after coming into power, and in few months we are going ahead for the lockdown. It is not a very good decision to do that. But we are forced because, as rightly Mahesh said, we need to have a human touch. We need to have a human face. We can't just behave like US and other countries. We forget COVID, what is it? Let us go ahead and just face it and let people die. We can't just see people dying.
Let me ask Devyani Kankoje. Have we run out of options? Okay, fair enough. Let the BJP come in now as well. Have we run out of options? Is that why we are seeing lockdowns in 5 different districts of Maharashtra as we speak?
You know, the government announced the lockdown, then they withdrew the decision. Again, they are saying that there will be a lockdown. There is a confusion in the government.
No, there is not government. There is a corporate given this
There
rights
is a confusion in the government and it has not been able to decide. Let me complete. Don't speak in between. Let me complete. The government has not been able to decide exactly what it wants to do. lockdown, yeah, you can rectify me later. The lockdown is not a solution, which is what even we are saying. And the BJP has always supported every effort that the government has taken in terms of the COVID management. So what we are saying is this: kindly get your act together, control the surge in the crowd in the market, vegetable market, malls, theatre, close down the nightlife for some time and ensure that the COVID pandemic is controlled. This is what we are
So
saying.
what exactly, Devani ji, you want? You want this? You are saying you close down also and then keep partially open also. What exactly? And I'm rightly as you saying. It's
I'm
a very
saying
good thing.
why,
You
no,
please come up
I'm
with some
saying
good
the
solutions.
nightlife. No,
We are ready
no.
to take it.
Please
No, I'm
don't
saying
take
the
me
nicer
wrong.
way. Please. Sorry, please complete.
And Devesh
No,
ji,
no,
one more
no,
thing
no,
I
you are
want to-
taking me wrong. All I'm saying is this: the nightlife should. Can't hear you.
Yes, finish your point, Devyani, and then Mahesh wants a follow-up question. But first, you make your point. Yes.
No, I didn't hear his question because there was no.
No, you finish your
audio.
earlier point first.
I can't hear him.
What is being asked of you is what is it that the government should be doing right
No,
now?
yeah, what I was saying is this: that why are we having a nightlife open? The clubs, the bars, why should we have them open for at this point in time? You have all the essential services going perfectly all right, but the nightlife is not required. And more importantly is this, that the control the crowd in the vegetable market, malls, cinema theatres and on the road, for which the public administration has to get the control over it. You can't do it just as so many people on the road. In any shop you go there, 20, 25 people are standing without the mask. By, collecting the fine from them, it is not helping. So you have to find other measures to see to it that the pandemic is controlled. Contact tracing has to be done, which you are saying that you are doing, and I'm sure you are doing it. I'm not trying to find a fault at you.
में लोगों को मुर्गा बना के भी पुलिस वाले कर रहे हैं. Yesterday, Anand Mahindra tweeted on this. So I mean to say, we are trying all
But I
levels.
mean, that's a
but
very
at same
pathetic
time,
situation.
But at
Yeah.
same time, we are not trying to.
Yeah, I agree
just
with
scrub
you
it,
that
but
the
yes,
people
yeah,
also,
yeah. So you're right.
Yeah, I agree with you that people also
penalize
needs to be
the
more
event
responsible.
organizers.
I'm not saying.
Penalize the event organizers who say 50 guests and then bring 500 guests and make money out of it while breaking the
Lot of
norms.
events,
Penalize
a
the
lot of
banquet
events,
halls,
and
the
we have shut
restaurants, the
down-
pubs and clubs who
Shut down the
promise
marriages
social
also.
distancing but then don't follow social distancing because they just want to earn their extra money. Now, they are the ones who should have been, I am saying, should penalized at the right time so that we could have stopped this infection from spreading at that point of time. Our energies and attentions, even for the civic body volunteers out there on the ground, Mr. Ahir, is to chase the vehicles with private vehicles with the family members sitting in there and finding them for not wearing a mask.
Mask.
4 people of the same family sitting in their own car, you're finding them for not wearing a mask. 10,000 people in your Sabji market, in your mall, roaming around, having a good time, nobody's saying anything. This is what we mean by last mile implementation. And I'm not just talking about Mumbai. The fact that this time we're seeing a problem even in Amravati, in Nasik, in Nagpur, in so many other districts of our state, that has become the big problem. I am going to thank our panelists for joining us at this point of time, viewers. But the repercussions of what Maharashtra is facing right now could be long and damaging if we don't get our act together right away. Already, a large percentage of the migrant workers are fearing a lockdown and a rerun of what happened to them in the last summer. And they are considering and moving in large numbers back home. A quick check of the trains bound to North India will show you that. Out of fear that they may not have a job tomorrow if there is another lockdown. And if they go, who's going to run our industries? Who's going to run our cities? What happens to our businesses, to our economies? Lockdown cannot be the answer. We can't sit back and say, okay, let's push it another 2 days. Let's wait for another 5 days. Let's see if it comes under control. Let's see if the numbers drop over the weekend and we don't have to implement the lockdown. Don't think about the lockdown. Don't consider that as the option. Fix the problems now. Step up on testing now. Step up on your vaccination now. Step up on contact tracing, surveillance and isolation now. Punish the people who break their home quarantine norms and run away and roam around. Punish those people now. Punish the institutes, restaurants, bars, malls, theatres who are not following the rules now and set an example. Rather than waiting for a time where people are struggling for their tests and struggling for a bed. We don't want to reach there. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.